So, a lot of you already know that January 2018, I got sick. I have lupus. I got pneumonia, and they induced me into a coma, and I stayed in that coma for about 3 weeks. During that time, um, I was intubated, then put on a trach. I went into cardiac arrest. It was just a lot, right? Got out of the hospital, had to go to rehab. I couldn't walk, couldn't use my hands, things like that. Body shut down, muscles shut down. Um, but God is good, and I was recovering well. Um, and I saw my 20, what I said 20, 37th birthday. it was 27th, my 27th birthday, and everything was going good. Then October 1st came, and I started to not feel so well, right? I thought maybe I was having a little sinus infection or something going on, a little cough and whatnot. So I just decided I was going to go to the urgent care, right? Get checked out. Got there, and them knowing my history, knowing my record, they decided, well, since you've had lung issues, you had that, horrible hospitalization, let's just do an x-ray right now just to make sure everything's all right. So they do the x-ray in the urgent care, and I'm waiting on the doctor, and, I didn't think anything was wrong, really. I thought it was just literally like sinus infection. And then I heard the doctor saying, you know, I need to know right now because I'm not going to let her leave. And I started to get scared. I'm like, what? What is he talking about me? I hope not, right? So he comes back in the room, and then he says, Miss Liger, I am very sorry to have to tell you, but I think you have developed pneumonia again. And I immediately busted out crying. I started freaking out, started having an anxiety attack, because the only thing I could think of is pneumonia, coma, dying. Oh my God, I just went through this. Like, you can't be serious. Like, no, I feel fine. Like it's just like, I just have a sinus infection, like pneumonia. What? So he says, you need to go to the emergency room right now. So I called my sister, crying, freaking out. She's trying to calm me down, because I'm just like, not again. God, I can't go through this again. Please tell me that this is not happening again, right? So I went home. I got things in order. Left Alan with my other sister. I went to the hospital, and they checked me out. They at first they said it was pneumonia, but it wasn't bad, and I caught it early. But then after taking a deeper look, they realized that I basically had what you call a pleural effusion. So I basically had fluid in my lungs. So they said that I needed to have surgery right away. They called a surgeon in, and she was phenomenal. African-American female, Dr. Africa Wallace. She was phenomenal. So she came in, she talked to me, she told me what was going on. She told me there was some stuff in my lungs that didn't look like it was, well, usually when you have a pleural effusion, they could just, stick like a big needle or something in there, and then they suck all the fluid out. But in my case, she said it looked like the stuff was loculated, which means it was like thick, so it's not something that could have been sucked out, right? So She's saying that I would have to have thoracic surgery, which is surgery of the lungs. So they would go in, they would cut, you know, me some incisions, and they would try to scrape whatever was in there out. Depending on how thick it was, if she couldn't get it out, she would have to make an even bigger incision and stick her hand behind my rib cage and scoop the stuff out with her hands. And I'm just sitting there like, lady, what? Are you kidding me right now? Um, I'm like, I hope that's not the case because I don't want your whole hand up in my body. Like, really? So I waited a couple days for them to, make sure that everything was what it was supposed to be. They ran tests and, whatnot. And I went in for the surgery. Luckily, she didn't have to stick her hand yeah, in my rib cage. And they were able to just go in with the tools and clean out my lungs, scrape everything out. And, I stayed in the hospital for a few days. I had 3 tubes sticking out of my chest or out of my rib area, and it was very painful. After they did the surgery, they put the tubes in to kind of suck out whatever else was left there. And I went home with antibiotics. Now, when I went home, they had given me what do you call that? It's like I have a brain freeze. I don't remember what you call it, but it's when they take the stuff where they draw your blood and stuff, and they put it through your God, what do you call that? I don't even remember. But it like goes in your arm and goes through like up in here and whatnot. I don't know. And you take IVs and stuff like that through there. So they sent me home with that. And I was supposed to have a nurse come to the house to give me antibiotics and to take my blood and whatnot. And this home nurse was not the best. And when it was time for her to clean the area where they had the tubes in my arm for the blood and stuff, she didn't clean it well. And I ended up getting sick. This is just like a week after I had surgery. And I ended up back in the hospital because that tube, and I really just don't even remember what you call it, but it goes to your heart. And so, if there's any infection in there, I could have died from that. So I ended up, I was sick. I couldn't eat. I was throwing up. And I went to the hospital. They weren't sure what was going on. They knew that it had something to do with those IV tubes or whatever, and so they just went ahead and took everything out. But they ran tests and everything seemed to be fine, so they took me off the antibiotics, and I recovered, and everything was going good. I was recovering well, and then December 2018, I started getting sick again. I thought I was having a lupus flare. I woke my sister up early in the morning and I told her, I was not feeling well. I wanted to go to the hospital. I think this was January, at this point, January 3rd, which was crazy because that was the same exact day I went to the hospital in 2018. So this is January 3rd, 2019. I thought I was having a lupus flare. I was in pain, fevers, whatnot. And I just thought I was going to go to the emergency room. They was going to give me some painkillers and some steroids, get the flare under control, and I'll go home and everything will be fine. Took me to the emergency room. Everything was going well. They decided they were going to keep me overnight. This is what I remember anyway. They said they were going to keep me overnight just because they were concerned with my breathing. And then I woke up like 9 days later. Sounds crazy, right? But I did. I woke up 9 days later with my mom in the room, hospital room. I was drugged up. I didn't know what was going on. I thought somebody was doing some type of science experiment on me, and I could not figure out why my mother was in the room, and everything was just weird. Um, but eventually, when the medication started wearing off, my mom explained to me that I had pneumonia again, and I guess they had to induce me or whatever they did, and back in the hospital again. This time wasn't so bad though. I didn't stay there 3 months. I stayed there like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that, and went home. I was still weak and everything, but look at me today. I'm doing great. All right, today is October the 4th. I feel awesome. And life is good, right? I still have my struggles, here and there. Things are just really good. Um, I go next week to get my lungs checked just to make sure everything's good. I do get a little tired. Um, one thing that I didn't really talk about, and y'all can hear me, I sound good because after that hospitalization in January, my voice got messed up because of all the intubations and the feeding tubes and all the stuff that I had from January 2018 to January 2019. My vocal cords were swollen, and I now have like a permanent space um, in my vocal folds, so they don't come all the way together, which, if you know me, that's a problem because I sing, right? And so I haven't really been able to sing like I want to, and you can hear that I'm kind of hoarse because I've been talking a lot, but I've been talking this much for 11 minutes, and usually if I'm talking this long, my jaws start to get tired and they start hurting, and you wouldn't be able to hear me at this point. But that goes to show that things are getting a lot better. I've been going to speech therapy, and they've been working with my voice, even though the vocal folds. Somebody's calling me. Yeah, I'm gonna call them back. Even though the vocal folds don't come all the way together, um, I've still been able to sing a little bit. And it's getting better, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get my full voice back, and I'm going to be able to sing and give glory to God like I love to do, and worship, and, you know. But I just wanted to give the update. I'm doing good. It's been a year since I had thoracic surgery, and all is well. You see my scars here from the 2018. This is where I had the trach in, and these scars, they got keloid, and they hurt. It's been a year and 9 months, and they hurt. They wake me up at night out of bed, and I have to grab my throat because they sting. I've been using CBD cream on it, and it's been helping at night with the stinging. And then I got all these scars on my stomach. Let's see. I don't want to show you my stomach is fat. But I got a little hole here from where I had the feeding tube and the scars from the tube. And then these are the scars from the lung surgery. So I just have all the scars to prove everything that I've been through in 2018. But you know what? I don't even care. God has been so good to me, and I'll take the scars uh, if that means I have my life, right? So I just wanted to share that today. I'm just super grateful and thankful to God that I have life, and I'm good. I'm not in the hospital, and I'm not 90 pounds. I'm like 130 pounds. I need to lose like 5 pounds. If I could lose 5 pounds, that would be like perfect for me. So I'm drinking the CBD tea, y'all, trying to lose this weight. Look, I got hair. I know y'all probably think I'm crazy, but I got hair, okay? That is like, oh my God, I have hair. Listen, you don't understand. When you have a disease like lupus and your hair starts falling out, like when I got out of the hospital in January last year, like literally almost all my hair fell out. And so I'm grateful I have hair and I have colored hair, chemically treated hair, and it's still on my head, you know? So glory be to God for the hair, right? Um, but anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for always praying for me. And I know some people probably like, why she always got to talk about all the stuff that happened to her? Because somebody needs to hear it, right? Somebody needs to know that God is faithful, that God is merciful, that God is a healer, that God is a deliverer, and He is a keeper. I'm still here after everything that I've been through. It could be a lot worse. And believe it or not, there are people that have gone through worse things than I have, right? Um, but I just wanted to share today. Maybe it'll encourage somebody. And for all the haters, just don't even look at my video. Um, and that's it. So enjoy your Friday. I love you guys. And maybe I'll start making more videos. This was actually kind of cool. Not too bad. But anyway, toodles.